Hello, geometry students. In this lesson, a review of some of the transformation rules, starting with the translation, which is just a slide. I don't have a picture on this one. All I'm going to do is just do it algebraically. It's asking to write a rule. If I start with 1 and I end up with 4, so I start with 1, I add x to it, I end up with 4. I could do the same thing for all three of them. It should be the same. On x, you start with 5, you add x to it, you get 8. On c, you start with 4, you end up with 7. So what am I adding to all these? Looks like it's going to be 3 units to the right, and it is the same for all three of them. So there's the x translation. And then for y, start with 3, add y to it, end up with -5. What do you add to -3 to get -5? Well, it's going to be a -2. And just to verify for the others, I don't want to write it out, but -5 to -7, -2. 0 to -2, also -2. -2 is down 2. There's the notation. If you like vector notation, whoops. Translation. How about a graph? Sketch the image after the translation. Remember, this is the pre-image. I'm going to result in the image. This is saying I want to go to the right 1 and down 4. So just pick any point, go over 1 and down 4. There will be I prime. Do it for all of them. Your picture may look a little cluttered, but as long as it's correct, it should be okay. There will be H prime. Here's G prime, J prime. All it asked for was a picture, and that is a slide. Just comparing it to make sure it looks the same. Looks good enough. How about a reflection? A reflection across the y-axis. The first thing you need to do is find the y-axis. Y-axis is the up and down axis, so I'm going to reflect across this line. There are rules for it, but frankly this is easier if you just do R is 1 unit to the left, R prime will be 1 unit to the right. There's R prime. Same thing with Q. It's 2 units to the left, Q prime will be 2 units to the right. P, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. P prime. And then just check to make sure it looks good. That is a reflection across the y-axis. Notice the notation, just a capital R with a subscript y-axis. How about a reflection across y equals 1? A reflection across y equals 1. Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to find y equals 1. That is a horizontal line. So, horizontal line, just a quick aside, the y-axis is up and down, but the y equals lines are horizontal. That's because the y-axis is actually the same as x equals 0. And this is y equals 0. Same thing, C is up to, from the line of symmetry, I'm going to go down to. Ignore the axes on these, ignore the x-axis. C prime is right here. Same thing with B. B is 3 units above. I'm going to go 3 units below the line of symmetry. A is 1 unit above. A prime will be 1 unit below the line of symmetry. Typically on these it would ask you for the coordinates. This one is just asking for a picture. If you were to ask for the coordinates, then you erase everything except the origin. For example, A prime is side to side 5, up and down 0. B prime is from the origin -3, -2, and C prime is side to side 0, down 1. Find the coordinates after the transformation. No picture on this one. This is just going to be straightforward algebra. This is to the right 4 and down 2. So algebraically, these are pretty easy. All you do is just add that to it. So A prime will be 0, 0. B prime will be 4, 1. C prime will be 0, -2. How about the next one? Find the coordinates of the image after the transformation, a reflection across the x-axis. Well, this is one where you might want to use your rules. For a reflection across the x-axis, xy becomes x negative y. The only thing that changes is y will be negative. So a reflection across the x-axis, x stays the same, y changes its sign. This -1 will become +1. 4 stays the same. This +1 becomes -1. For C prime, the 5 stays the same, and you change the y to become a +4. As long as you know the rule. If you don't know the rule, just sketch yourself a quick graph. Do one of them, and figure out the rule from that. Write a rule to describe the transformation. Well, if you look at your figure, this is not a slide because D is on the bottom here, it's on the top here. B is on the top, B is on the bottom, so this is obviously some sort of a reflection. It's a reflection across the line that's halfway. Find the line that's halfway between every one of these points, and it looks like it's going to be the x-axis. So D is 2 units up, D prime is 2 units down. This is a reflection across the x-axis. Incidentally, that's also y equals 0. If you want the little notation, I like that best because it's fast and easy, but the capitalized R is not really standardized. So just reflection across the x-axis.